If your soil looks healthy but earthworms are few and far between, the issue might not be your planting. It could be what's missing beneath the surface. Earthworms aren't just beneficial guests, they're active builders of rich, aerated, fertile soil. Healthy soil with few earthworms can look just fine, but when your soil is teeming with earthworms, it really comes alive. They break down organic matter, stimulate microbial life, and turn your beds into nutrient-rich growing zones, but worms don't just show up out of nowhere. To draw them in and keep them around, your soil needs to offer a consistent source of food, moisture, and microbial activity. The right natural additives create an environment where worms want to settle, and once they do, they'll multiply and handle some of the hardest soil work for you. At Hydrohaven, we've tested dozens of approaches and 5 soil amendments in particular really stand out for their ability to attract and sustain large populations of earthworms organically and efficiently. The first game changer is aged compost. Not fresh, not hot, but compost that's had time to cure and stabilize. Aged compost teams with microbes, offers partially decomposed plant matter, and honestly has a loose, crumbly structure that's just perfect for worm movement. When you work aged compost into your topsoil or lay it in pockets near the root zone, it becomes a buffet for worms. Unlike sterile bagged compost, living compost offers a complete spectrum of food sources: bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and decomposed fibers. Earthworms are especially drawn to fungal-rich compost because it really supports their digestion and, honestly, it speeds up the breakdown of tougher organic matter. If you want worms to cluster and feed in one area, just bury a shovelful of aged compost and, observe the results over a few days. They'll arrive, settle, and leave behind nutrient-rich castings. The second natural additive that pulls worms like a magnet is alfalfa pellets. Often sold as livestock feed or garden fertilizer, alfalfa is a nitrogen-rich material that decomposes rapidly and triggers microbial blooms. When watered into the soil or mixed into a compost pile, it breaks down into a soft green slurry that bacteria love, and where bacteria go, worms follow. Unlike raw kitchen scraps that can go sour or draw pests, alfalfa pellets ferment evenly and add no unpleasant smells. In raised beds and containers, a light layer mixed into the soil can double worm activity in less than a week. Alfalfa also contains triacontanol, which is a natural growth stimulant that, really improves root development and increases microbial respiration. This synergy makes it a quiet powerhouse for both worms and plants. Another powerful but often overlooked additive is worm casting tea, not just the castings themselves but actually the liquid that's brewed from them. When properly aerated over 24 to 36 hours, worm tea becomes a live infusion of beneficial microbes that colonize the soil and organic matter surfaces. When you pour worm tea into your beds, especially around mulch or aged compost, you really amplify microbial action dramatically. Earthworms are attracted to these microbial films, which coat soil particles and soft materials like mulch and straw. The added moisture from the tea also improves surface conditions, encouraging worms to come closer to the top of the soil where they can aerate, digest, and reproduce. Chopped leaf litter is a fourth must-have. The fifth additive is fermented rice water. When used together in thoughtful balance, these 5 additives do more than just attract worms. They build a living soil system. They ensure that once worms arrive, they stay. And they turn your raised bed or garden patch into a self-sustaining ecosystem where nutrients cycle continuously and plant health improves with every season. It's important to remember that worms are not just signs of good soil, they are agents of it. If your soil feels heavy, lifeless, or dependent on fertilizers, it likely needs more biology, not more amendments. The beauty of these additives is that they introduce that biology naturally, safely, and without the need for synthetic input. As you experiment with these materials, track the changes. Observe your soil surface for castings, feel for softness, and look for tunnels near your mulch line. These small signs confirm that your earthworm population is growing and that the biological engine beneath your plants is running strong. A few weeks of careful feeding can turn an empty raised bed into a thriving hub of underground activity, and once that happens, you'll see the difference not just in the soil, but in the color, texture, and resilience of your plants. If this guide gave you practical tools to invite more earthworms into your garden and raised beds, don't forget to subscribe to Hydrohaven and share this video with fellow gardeners. When we work with nature instead of against it, the results speak for themselves, and the soil never lies.